Citizens Unite has taken me by surprise. What I initially thought was just the standard double pack of 2 games in the series is actually a little bit more than that. Citizens Unite takes the individual games that have released on many a console and sort of woven them together into one. Well, kinda. What we have here are 2 games that are now fully connected with story and events, now tying each other together and switchable between each other at any time. What was once 2 adventures is now kinda like one big entity. Sort of. Now, just to be clear, this review is more about the package here rather than an in-depth look at the games themselves. Citizens of Earth originally released in 2015, pretty much like 6 years ago to the day. I had it on the 3DS, and its sequel came out a couple of years ago. Countless words have been written about them already, so this is just a brief overview of the package on offer here. Originally, I wasn't planning on reviewing this, but when I found out that Unite does something that I've never seen done before, I just had to see it for myself. The stories of each are quite a treat, not particularly in their story arcs or drama or suspense, but just because, it's dumb, wonderfully dumb. The first game, for example, sees you as the vice president of the entire Earth who still lives with his mum. That just sets the tone right there. You go on ridiculous quests pleasing the citizens of Earth, and who cares about the actual story since the line-to-line dialogue is just fun. The comedy doesn't always hit the mark, but you can't help but smile all the way through. The sequel is equally ridiculous and literally has you trying to find the Earth, which has gone missing. Then, of course, there's the all brand new story editions, which can be witnessed at various points. I don't really want to talk about it too much since, these are like the big selling point of the game to, find out the story. But yeah, there's actually now a true, real ending this time around if the 2 timelines can work together, which is kind of ingenious in my opinion. Now, the games are quite similar in vibes, personality, visuals, of course, and general flow, but they do differ in one very massive way, especially for an RPG, the battle system. They are widely different and each heavily influenced by heavyweights of the genre. The first game, Earth, has a battle system that's instantly recognizable as something similar to Earthbound, at least it looks like it, along with the overworld style. The second game, Space, is influenced by Paper Mario or the Mario RPG games where the battle system is more interactive. Button inputs are required to get the best out of your attacks. I do feel the first game with its more simple approach has the better of the 2 experiences in terms of the battles. As much as I enjoy interactive attacks, here they can be slightly, over elaborate and having a lot of different forms. I get that they're trying to stop it from being repetitive, but it can be a little bit much over the course of the game. But, one thing that I love is the fact that they kind of treat your teammates as Pokemon here. You'll meet up with loads of people, many of whom will be more than willing to join your team. The weather lady, a pilot, a barista, they all have their special attacks, and it's pretty mind-boggling at how many recruitable characters there are. It almost brings a tear to my eye thinking of Suikoden. Half of the fun is finding them all and having them join your cause with their special requests. Plus, they all have their own unique attacks and talents that can be used outside of battle. For example, the school mascot can change the difficulty, the school teacher can help level up characters with study, and your postman brother can deliver items that you order. It's crazy the amount of people there are. I mean, it's not like Pokemon with like hundreds, but there are a few dozen here, and they're very well implemented, even if the menu system and the user interface is quite troublesome to navigate at times. You know what? This Unite edition adds even more people to recruit. Not a whole lot, but still, it's more than was, ever necessary. The new content is pretty nice and satisfying. I think fans who have played the games before will appreciate it. It's not massively lengthy. Between the 2 games, you're looking at like an extra couple of hours to the runtime, which brings the whole package to at least 30 hours or so worth of gameplay just for a run through of the story, not even thinking about extras because that's a whole new level of content. It is worth noting that the new content is pretty much optional. At some point in the game, you'll come across a new event that will allow you to begin the new content, but if you completely ignore it, you can just play the original games by themselves. You can even choose upon booting the app up which game you'd like to begin with. And you know what I find mightily impressive is that you can flip between games at the press of a button. Now that's magic. It's not instantaneous, which would have been like mind-blowing, but a short loading screen and you're in the other game. That's just great. In terms of the presentation, there's not a whole lot to say about the visuals and the audio that I feel I can add to the discussion, but the visuals are rather appealing, incredibly bright, colorful, bold. Both games stand loud and proud. I was rather impressed by the voice acting, which is present for about 90% of the game. The only time it's not voice acted is when your party members are invited to talk, and so also, with dozens of possibilities with different, parties and stuff like that, naturally voice acting was unfeasible there. But, the parts that are acted are actually really good, very professionally done, and the quality for an indie game with this much dialogue is great. I very much appreciated the effort of the developers here, and it has a whole level of quality to the experience. In terms of value, as I said, you're looking around 30 hours of gameplay just for the story, but a lot more if you want to do everything it has to offer. And, for $30 in the US and the same in euros, I think that's a pretty good price. Now, it is worth mentioning that Citizens of Space is available by itself on the Switch, published by Sega, and the standard price for that is $15. So the original game isn't on the Switch by itself, so this is the only way to get it. And thinking of them together, $15 each, that makes this package look like a good deal. Two very solid RPGs, that's nice. Now, Citizens Unite is available physically, but only in Asia. There's a nice physical release over there from Kemco, and the best thing about it is that it does have English, so yeah, you can own a nice physical version for yourself to keep forever. No risk of losing your game forever if it's pulled from the store or Nintendo switches the servers off. If you actually want to own your game, importing a physical version is the way to go. A Western release may come along at some point, or who knows, it's entirely possible, but there's been no word about it at all. So for now, the Asian release is the one you're going to need to fill your boots with. If you don't fancy waiting around for a Western release and you want to plump for the Asian Japanese release, then in the description and pinned comment, I've put a link below as to where you can import a copy for yourself. If you use those links, then it also massively helps out the SwitchWatch team at the same time to keep bringing you awesome content and reviews like this. It is honestly the best way to support us. And in return, if you use those links, then you can also get a very nice 5% off your order from PlayAsia if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV while checking out. That's all one word, SwitchWatchTV, for 5% off your order from PlayAsia, and that's on any physical item. Overall, Citizens Unite is a fine package of two really nice, charming RPGs that are influenced by the classics. While they may not ape Earthbound or the Mario RPGs, they are fine examples of indie RPGs and stand fairly proudly amongst the wealth of options on the system. They're not perfect, and the issues people had with the initial release will still stand, but the fact that they're not only bundled together, but now interwoven with new content and with the cool ability of switching between games on the fly means that this is probably the best way to experience them. If you've already played them, then the new content may not be enough to shell out another $30 again, but for newcomers, it is great. It's also a fine physical package to import. As a package, rating it as a package, remember, for me, it's an 8 out of 10. Alright, many thanks for watching. If you fancy picking this up physically from Japan and Asia, then consider using our links below and the coupon code to support us. Big thanks to our YouTube members and executive producers, God of Resin, Dane Wilkinson, Gannicus, Jonathan Rumer, Brent McLean, Boombox, Alolan Jojo, Santa Tartaruga, and Alexander Cato. Plus you watching right now, yes you. If you watched all the way here, you're a legend. The longer you watch, the more it helps us out. YouTube likes us more the longer you watch. So yeah, high five me in the comments, those who stuck around to hear me ramble on. Check out my weekly Mondays video talking about all the physical releases on the Switch. Citizens Unite will appear next week, I think. And James's bargains video on Sunday to help you spend your money in the cheapest possible way. We'll see you guys over there. Take care. Have a great day.